So right there is Karen's head.
Okay, is that the back of Karen's head or?
Correct.
There's a grouping in another area of the bar at the same time.
Correct.
And do you recall who was in that grouping?
I believe it was Chris Albert, Brian Albert, and Brian Higgins.
Okay.
John O'Keefe is reacting to something, and I believe it was Jen McCabe who came up to him and was kind of like pointing like, oh, you should be coming with us because she's the mastermind behind his murder, as we all know now. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up. It's the Law with Attorney Larry Forman. Folks, today we're going to be continuing the testimony of Karina, and we are going to finish up her testimony, and we are probably going to go into either the ARCA witness or Lucky or somebody else later today. Folks, the trial is almost at a close. The defense is finishing up its case in chief. We're going to have at least one rebuttal witness. I anticipate Dr. Welcher is going to come back and talk about his BS that he's got going on, and the jury, and then the closings, and then the jury's going to go to deliberate, and that might happen before Friday, and I hope it does, because this case has been going on already far too long, way too long. It needs to close, it needs to resolve, it needs to resume. Karen needs to resume her life, is what I'm trying to say. So without further ado, I bring you the finale of Karina testifying in the Karen Reed case on behalf of Karen Reed for the defense. Let's go. Oh, and before I forget, if you have not checked out our members-only content, go check it out. Membership started at 99 cents for an intern, and so you can check out all of the content that we have under the paywall, and most of it is going to be Diddy at this juncture.
Now, if you can, ma'am, would you please use that pointer to show where you are first?
That's me.
Okay. And Brian Higgins?
That's him.
All right. Do you recognize, at this point in the video, do you recognize anybody else?
Not right now.
Okay. If we could start to play it, Ms. Willock. And stop for a second. I would ask you, as soon as you recognize somebody else, if you speak up and tell us you stop, and we'll pause.
Okay. So right there is Karen's head.
Okay. Is that the back of Karen's head or?
Correct. So that's the back of her head.
All right.
And then
Here, by the way, just so the record's clear, over Mr. Higgins' shoulder, there appears to be a face looking forward on the right shoulder. You see that, right?
correct.
You're not referring to that. You're referring to the long hair that's in back of that face.
Yes. Could I point to it again? Okay. So I'm referring to that head right there.
Understood. Okay.
And
And
then-
I think you had said something else.
And then I got right there is John O'Keefe with the hat.
Okay. There's a ball cap.
Right.
And on the video, as we're looking at it, it's to the right, up the top. It's to the right of the PM chyron there.
Right to the
top of
right.
your screen.
Correct. Sorry.
If we could continue to play. Stop. What do you see?
So I see John giving Karen a kiss on the forehead.
Is that what you saw that night?
I did. I was looking right at them when it happened.
You were facing them.
I was facing them.
And what about Mr. Higgins? Where was he facing?
It appears that he's facing them as well.
That happened right in front of him.
That's what it looks like.
We could play for. Okay, you could stop and we could take that down. Now, that night, did you have any information about the nature of Karen Reed's previous interactions with Brian Higgins?
None whatsoever.
Okay. How long did you stay at the Waterfall? Or if you recall, about what time you got ready to leave?
I believe things wrapped up around midnight.
And with whom were you leaving around midnight?
So my husband and Matt McCabe stayed behind. They were helping the band clean up and stuff. So it was myself, Jennifer McCabe, and Karen Reed that walked out together.
Okay. And you previously seen video footage of the end of the night with yourself, Karen, and Jennifer McCabe sort of in a grouping?
Correct.
And excuse me, I'm sorry that I just need to spare my throat. I hope that's all it's done.
That's okay.
Did you see on that same video at the same time, there's a grouping in another area of the bar at the same time?
Correct.
And do you recall who was in that grouping?
I believe it was Chris Albert, Brian Albert, and Brian Higgins.
Okay. Could we now publish again Exhibit 22? And I'd like from the approximate start time of 11:57 and 42 seconds. And if we could hit play, Mr. Wolf. Oh, I'll tell you what, stop it for a sec. Thank you. Could you zoom in, please, on the right portion of that video, the upper right? Let's start with that. Okay. So this is the start of this clip. It looks to be 11:57 and 38. Do you see anybody in that clip that you recognize?
Yes. So I am the person with the jacket with the fur around the hood, and Karen Reed is the other woman that I'm talking
Sorry,
to.
we could play that, Mr. Wolf. And right now, do you recognize anybody else in the background of that?
So to the right in the plaid shirt is my husband, Nicholas.
Okay. What about over your left shoulder?
So over my left shoulder is John O'Keefe.
And does that appear to be his back?
Correct.
Okay. From the play. And he was in. Stop for a second. He was in your line of vision at that point, correct?
Correct.
What does he appear to be doing?
He appears to be like paying a tab or something like that, or maybe getting a drink. I'm not sure.
Okay. And do you see him looking in a particular direction right now?
He looks to be looking over his left.
Continue to play. Oh, if we could pause for a second. I neglected to ask you to point out with the pointer. You might as well use it.
Okay.
If you could point to yourself first.
Okay. So that's me.
All right, Karen.
That's Karen.
And John O'Keefe.
That's John.
Okay, continue to play, Mr. Wolf. Stop. If back up just a sec. Oh, all right. I'll tell you when to set you up. Train. Stop. Okay. Do you see what direction John O'Keefe is facing now?
He's looking to the left.
Okay, keep going. Keep going. Stop. What direction is he facing now?
To the left.
And what is over to the left?
I believe that's where the other group of men are located, perhaps.
Okay. Keep going. And I'd like to run this to 11:58:25.
This is right before they left the waterfall. This is half an hour before John gets killed.
At this point, his whole body is turned to the left, correct?
Correct.
And he appears to be facing where the other group of men were?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
He appears to be facing in the direction of where the other group of men were?
Correct.
Continue to play, all through until 11:58:25. Okay, that's perfect. Now, keeping the video up, I'd like to now scroll over to the left side of the screen, and we're going to start that at 11:57:42, the same approximate time they started the previous discussion.
Huh. I don't think this has been done in the first trial. So I'm wondering, what exactly are we about to witness? Because clearly John O'Keefe is reacting to something, and I believe it was Jen McCabe who came up to him and was kind of like pointing like, oh, you should be coming with us, because she's the mastermind behind his murder, as we all know now. So now Jennifer McCabe is going to leave this group, go over to him, say, hey, come with us, we're leaving, blah, 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 whatever. Waterfall's probably closing at midnight or something like that. And now we're going to see what's happening on the other side and what John O'Keefe is referring to and what he's reacting to.
Have you or someone you love been injured as a result of someone else's negligence? or worse, lost a loved one because of it? I am attorney Larry Forman, and myself and my team of trial lawyers are ready to help you to get the absolute maximum compensation permissible under the law. We know the system. We understand how to win anywhere in the United States, 24 hours a day. 1-844-774-HURT. Call us. We can help.
That's Higgins, Brian Albert.
Stop. Okay.
Ah, there it is.
Previously described the other three men. Are you able to identify them on this video now in this still frame clip?
I believe I am
Okay.
able.
And who do you see?
I see Chris Albert, Brian Higgins, and Brian Albert.
And which one is which?
Chris Albert is the one that grabbed Brian Higgins' arm, and Brian Albert is with his back towards us.
Okay, now I'll ask you to use the pointer and point to Chris Albert, please.
That's Chris Albert.
On the right.
Yep.
Where's Brian Higgins?
That's Brian Higgins.
In the middle?
Yeah, in the middle. And that's Brian Albert,
Okay.
I believe.
With regard to Brian Higgins, which direction is he facing?
He's facing the left.
He's facing to the left?
I mean, I'm sorry, he's facing to the right.
Okay. And
His
the direction that he's facing in, who's over there?
Sistine.
What
What?
is over there? Is that the direction of the bar?
Sustain.
Who is he facing?
Continue to play, please. Stop. Did you see he grabbed his arm a second time?
Correct.
And Brian Higgins is facing in which direction this time?
Towards
He's
Jonathan.
facing the bar area.
Continue to play, please. Okay. You noticed some motion that Brian Higgins made?
He waved his arm.
Back it up for a second, Mr. Wolf, please.
Here it comes. Right there.
Stop. Did you see a motion that
He put his left arm up.
appeared to be summoning somebody?
Sustain.
It's true.
Continue to play. I'm sorry, you all. Continue to play. I'll bear that in mind.
It's so hard to believe. And like in hindsight, folks, like just watching this literally 30 minutes before they murdered a man, they're just plotting, they're planning, they're right there, just like nothing. To take a person's life like this, it's just, for a normal human being, it takes a lot to wrap your head around. Realization that they're about to commit a murder and literally bury the body in snow and cover it up at the department and just pretend like, yep, man's dead. Oh, well, moving on. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? I think it's a well-known fact that Brian Albert has blood on his hands, so for him, maybe it's not as difficult. But what about all his buddies, for whom it is a bit more difficult? Maybe not. Hey, Brian Albert is an experienced murderer. We just follow his lead. Everything is going to be peachy. I don't get it.
Okay, we can stop there. Ms. Kolokithis, did you see
I guess that's what happens when you're not a narcissistic sociopath, huh?
how many times Brian Higgins motioned with his arm?
Sustained.
That's a normal question.
Quite versus please, mister.
Sit down.
Understood.
Bev, sit down.
Now, prior to this night, had you known or been aware of Chris Albert?
Just knew him from seeing him at D&E Pizza.
Okay, and you say you've seen him at D&E Pizza in what capacity?
I think he's the owner there at D&E Pizza, and we gotten pizza there before.
And you'd been in that establishment before?
Correct.
And with regard to Brian Albert, have you had any interaction with him, either that night or before?
So that night I was introduced to him, and I think I even spoke to him a little bit there. And then maybe saw him like a basketball game. I don't remember him really prior to that night.
Okay. Now, I'd like to play the portion of the video where you are then leaving and ask you some questions about that. Yes, I think we can zoom out and perhaps hit play, Mr. Wolk, at this point.
Mm.
And pause for a sec. If you could use the pointer and just point out again where you are at this point.
That is me.
All right. And are you able to see Karen at that point?
She's right there.
Okay. And what about Jen McCabe? Are you able to see her at that point?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Continue to play, please. And stop for a sec. I should have asked you, if you do see Jennifer McCabe enter the picture, could you alert us?
Okay.
Continue to play.
We're waiting on Jen McCabe to show up, huh?
When you were leaving the establishment, whom did you leave with?
So again, it was myself, Jennifer McCabe, and Karen.
Did anything unusual occur when you were leaving?
So as we were leaving, Jen went over to Karen, kind of put her arm around her, and she started saying, "You're coming with me, you're coming with me." And Karen's like, "Huh? Like, what? Like, where are we going?" And
I'm going to sustain the objection.
What objection?
The first part of that answer, the putting your arm around her, "You're coming with me," why did that stand out in your memory?
just because I was there too, and it just was strange. It was just like, "You're coming with me." Like, it was just something that stood out to me.
And you weren't included.
I mean, no, it's fine. I mean, it was just stood out, you know? Yeah.
Did Karen go with Jen McCabe?
No, she did not.
What did you see her do?
So then, out of the clear blue, thinking that Karen was going to go with Jen, I see Karen with Don.
And where did you see Karen with John?
I saw them just I was parked across Washington Street, across from the restaurant, and I just saw Karen and John like walking down towards what used to be Amber Road, a place.
It used to be Amber.
It used to be Amber Road. Yeah.
Is that a Amber Road cafe?
Correct. It was like a restaurant. It was like a little cafe shop.
And did you figure out why they were walking in that direction?
That's where I think Karen had parked her car.
Did you have any concerns about Karen being able to drive that night?
I had talked to her all night, and I did not notice anything changed about that. Like, I
Oh, folks, there it is right there. The BAC that was claimed that Karen had like hours and hours and hours after the fact has been all but debunked. Lies a little, Ringer's lactate, Mr. Expert what's-his-face, on cross-examination. Karen's genetic disease stresses the muscles release Ringer's lactate, elevating artificially her BAC. You have an independent, unbiased witness who doesn't have a stake in this game, doesn't have a care in the world, doesn't have a dog in this fight, right, Mr. Welcher? I can't call you doctor. Anyway, she doesn't have a dog in this fight. She comes out and says she seemed completely fine. I've been talking to her all night. She was not under the influence. I mean, folks, this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible stuff. I had no idea that Karina is going to be so good. She did not testify in trial number 1, for those of you wondering. I do not remember her testifying in trial number 1. If she did, I missed her, but I'm pretty sure she did not testify in trial number 1.
didn't think anything of it.
And once you parted ways, where did you go?
I went in my car.
And what was your last image of seeing Karen and John that name?
It was just them walking towards the car.
Mr. Brennan,
Was your last image of Karen and John, both of them walking to the car and Karen walking to the driver's side door of that car?
Correct.
That night it was a celebratory mood.
Correct.
Everybody was getting along fine.
Yes, we were. Yes.
You were speaking to the defendant for some time.
Most of the time. Correct.
You saw her points hugging Jen McCabe.
Correct.
You knew John.
I did.
He was a kind man,
Very kind.
generous,
Very generous.
thoughtful,
Very thoughtful.
soft-spoken.
Yes.
That night was particularly different. He was extraordinarily proud and happy, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
And you could see him emote about his accomplishment that his daughter got into private school.
Correct.
Did you talk to John that night?
I did.
And the further questions, Sam.
I mean, there's nothing Brennan could ask. I expected nothing more, nothing less than what he asked. I would have even completely skipped her because he has nothing to contribute. That's a witness you just say, no questions, Your Honor. But Brennan, of course, is an inexperienced trial attorney, so he's going to try and ask a few questions on the off chance that she gives him something good, which is the dumbest strategy. You never ask a question you don't already know the answer to. Come on, Brennan, you know this. Or do you? I don't even know. I watched you in person in trial in the courtroom on Friday, and let me tell you, he's so bad. He's not respected by anybody in the room, not the defense lawyers, not the crowd, not even John O'Keefe's camp, not the jury. The judge just grants him anything that he wants because they're in cahoots with one another. That's about it. So Brennan and Bev are like two peas in a pod in that regard, but that's about it. He doesn't have anything to offer. Like when Jackson gets up there, he commends a room. When Alessi gets up there, even though I didn't get a chance to hear him speak, I saw him behind closed doors, and Alessi is a force to be reckoned with. We've already seen him in court, and he's such a delight in person. He looks a little different when he takes his glasses off. I will say that Alessi looks a little dorkier without his glasses. Actually, the glasses make him look more normal. Sorry, buddy, but it's true. When he takes his glasses off, he looks a lot more dorky than he really is, and I love him for it. He's a very, very, very talented attorney. And David, same thing. David speaks like, even when Liza speaks, it doesn't matter. Any of them speak, they control the room. Brennan gets up there, he just gets loud for no reason. And everybody's just like, ugh. It was beautiful to watch, folks. It was absolutely magical, absolutely gorgeous. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you always get notified of those videos and like this video coming to your inbox. And folks, let me tell you, I mean, this trial is almost coming to a close, and I cannot wait for closing arguments. I cannot wait for jury deliberation. I anticipate they're going to deliberate for no less than a day and a half and no more than 4 days. 1.5 to 4 days is what I'm predicting, depending on how many times Bev is going to have to Tui Rodriguez them. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be another mistrial. I spoke to Jackson after I was done with court, and I told on Friday, and I told Jackson, I said, Beverly is not going to let the jurors go unless they vote either triple guilty or triple not guilty. And he said, I absolutely agree with that statement. This is directly from Alan Jackson, folks. Beverly will not release them unless if there's one holdout, let's say it's a not guilty, 11-1, not guilty and not guilty. That's going to be a mistrial, retrial, and all 3 charges. Now, the other question is, are they really going to try it a third time? From what I hear, by the way, Morrissey is probably going to be out by the end of the year. Morrissey is going to be voted out. He's being replaced. It's going to be up to the new administration whether or not they want to prosecute Karen a third time. Because I always bring the example of the trial of the Chicago 7. Ramsey Clark being the former attorney general who decided not to prosecute, and the new administration who made it a political agenda to prosecute. I mean, it's such a phenomenal movie, folks, and you learn so much. There's so many, like, not parallels, but a lot of elements that are similar in that trial and in this trial. So it's amazing how Hollywood can portray real events from previous experiences, and they will run parallel to new experiences, such as the Karen Reed trial. So realistically speaking, can the new administration choose to continue to prosecute Karen Reed? Sure, absolutely they can. Can they choose to abandon ship? Sure, absolutely they can. Do they have to prosecute her? Absolutely not. There is nothing that is forcing the Commonwealth's hand to prosecute Karen. And is the new administration, do they owe anything to Beverly? Does Beverly owe anything to them? At that point, it's all irrelevant. They're never going to get a conviction. The most that they're ever going to get is wasting the taxpayers' money and either a hung jury, or maybe eventually they'll get to that triple not guilty if there's a third trial. But I'm calling it right now, folks. I don't think, unless we get a triple not guilty, which I'm placing at about 80% possibility, there is a 100% chance we're going to get another mistrial, another hung jury, another we can't decide, another guilty we don't know, or excuse me, not guilty we don't know not guilty, or something like that. It's inevitable. So I'm looking forward to continuing to analyze it for you all. I appreciate you, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.